In the quiet town of Meadowfield, where the sunsets paint the sky in hues of orange and purple, there lived a young boy named Eli. His world was filled with the laughter and love of his family, a small but tight-knit group who lived in a cozy house at the edge of town. Eli's life was simple, filled with school days, adventures in the nearby woods, and quiet evenings at home. But everything changed the summer Eli turned 9. It was a tradition in Eli's family, passed down through generations, that on the 9th birthday, a child would be told the tale of the Whispering Woods, a vast, ancient forest that bordered Meadowfield. This story wasn't just any tale. It was a warning, a legacy of sorts, imbued with mystery and caution. Eli's mother, a kind-hearted woman with eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of ages, sat him down on the eve of his 9th birthday. "The Whispering Woods," she began, her voice low and serious, "are not what they seem. They are alive, listening, and sometimes speaking. Our ancestors told of spirits that dwell within, guardians of the forest. They watch over it, protecting its secrets." Eli listened, wide-eyed, hanging on to every word. "Long ago," she continued, "our family made a promise to respect the woods, to never take more than we need, and to never stray too far into its heart. In return, the forest watches over us, guiding us in times of need. But beware, Eli, for if you break this promise, if you disrespect the sacred land, the guardians will know. They will whisper your name, drawing you deeper into the woods, until you are lost, never to return." Eli's imagination ran wild with images of shadowy figures and whispering trees. The story thrilled him, but it also planted a seed of fear. He promised his mother he would heed her warning, never venturing too close to the forbidden forest. The next day, after the celebrations had ended and the last slice of birthday cake had been eaten, Eli lay in bed, unable to sleep. The tale of the Whispering Woods echoed in his mind, a mix of curiosity and fear churning in his stomach. He gazed out of his window, where the silhouette of the forest loomed in the distance, an impenetrable wall of darkness under the starry sky. Weeks passed, and the story became a distant memory, overshadowed by the joys of summer. Eli spent his days playing with friends, exploring the outskirts of the woods, always careful not to venture too deep, remembering his mother's warning. But fate has a way of testing promises. One hot afternoon, as Eli played hide-and-seek with his friends, he found himself near the edge of the Whispering Woods. His friend, Alex, had challenged him to find the perfect hiding spot, and Eli, eager to win, thought of the one place no one would dare look, the forest's edge. He slipped between the trees, heart pounding with excitement and fear. The forest was cool and quiet, a stark contrast to the summer heat. Eli could hear the faintest sounds, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of birds, and something else, a soft, whispering voice, so faint he thought he might have imagined it. "Eli," the voice seemed to call, a whisper carried by the wind. He froze, a chill running down his spine. The stories, the warnings, all came rushing back. Had he gone too far? The forest around him felt alive, watching, waiting. Eli turned to run, but the forest seemed to have changed. The trees, once familiar markers of the forest's edge, now looked strange, their branches twisting in ways that didn't make sense. Panic set in as Eli realized he was lost, the path home obscured by the dense foliage. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows through the trees, Eli's adventure took a dark turn. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, calling his name from the depths of the forest. Eli knew he had to find his way out before darkness fell completely, before the stories his mother told became his reality. But as he ran, the forest seemed to stretch on endlessly, a labyrinth of trees and shadows. The line between legend and reality blurred as Eli ventured deeper into the heart of the Whispering Woods, driven by a mix of fear and a desire to uncover the truth behind his family's tale. As the last light of day faded, swallowed by the dense canopy above, Eli's situation grew increasingly dire. The once faint whispers now seemed to surround him, a cacophony of voices that seemed neither human nor entirely benign. The forest, with its gnarled trees and thick underbrush, appeared to close in on him, as if the very earth itself sought to claim him. Eli, heart pounding in his chest, tried to retrace his steps, but the forest had transformed. Landmarks he thought he recognized were gone, replaced by an endless maze of trees that seemed to shift and move when he wasn't looking. The air grew colder, a chill that seeped into his bones, and a fog began to rise from the ground, obscuring his vision further. He remembered his mother's words, the warning of how the forest could draw in those who disrespected its boundaries. Eli hadn't believed, truly believed until now. The forest felt alive, aware of his presence, and it was not welcoming. The whispers grew louder, more urgent, as if urging him to follow. Against his better judgment, Eli found himself drawn to the voices. There was a melody in them, a haunting tune that promised answers and perhaps a way out. He followed the whispers through the fog, each step taking him deeper into the heart of the Whispering Woods. Suddenly, the ground beneath him gave way, and he stumbled down a steep embankment, tumbling into a clearing he had never seen before. The fall left him dazed, and as he looked up, he saw a figure standing at the edge of the clearing. It was cloaked in shadows, its features obscured, but its eyes glowed with an unnatural light. Eli tried to speak, to ask for help, but the figure remained silent, its gaze piercing through him. The whispers ceased abruptly, leaving a heavy silence in their wake. Eli felt an overwhelming sense of dread as the figure began to move towards him, its steps silent on the forest floor. He wanted to run, but his body refused to respond, held in place by a mixture of fear and fascination. As the figure drew closer, Eli could see that it was not human, its form too elongated, its movements too fluid. The air around it seemed to shimmer, as if it were partly made of the mist that filled the forest. Then, just as it reached the edge of the clearing, it stopped. A voice, clear and resonant, broke the silence. "Eli," it said, its voice echoing in his mind, "you have broken the pact. You have entered the heart of the forest, despite the warnings." The figure's eyes bore into him, and Eli felt a chill deeper than the night air. But all is not lost. There is a way to make amends, a task you must undertake. Eli found his voice, barely a whisper. "What task? I just want to go home." The figure's gaze softened slightly. "To return, you must retrieve what was taken. Deep within the forest lies a relic of the Guardians, a token of the pact between your ancestors and the forest. It was stolen, taken to the heart of the woods. Retrieve it, and the path home will be revealed to you." Eli felt a glimmer of hope mixed with fear. How will I find it? And who took it? The one who seeks to break the balance, to turn the forest's power to their own ends. You will know the relic by its glow, a light in the darkness. Follow the whispers. They will guide you. But beware, for the forest is not the only thing that watches. With those final words, the figure vanished, leaving Eli alone in the clearing. The whispers returned, softer now, a guiding chorus that beckoned him deeper into the Whispering Woods. Determined to find the relic and restore the pact, Eli set off into the darkness, guided by whispers and a faint, glowing light in the distance. The forest seemed less hostile now, the path clearer, but Eli knew that greater dangers lay ahead. He was no longer just a boy lost in the woods. He was a participant in an ancient struggle, a battle for the heart of the Whispering Woods. As Eli ventured deeper into the heart of the Whispering Woods, guided by the soft, eerie whispers and the distant glow, the forest seemed to transform before his eyes. The oppressive sense of dread began to lift, replaced by a strange, surreal beauty. The trees whispered secrets of ancient times, the wind carried songs of forgotten memories, and the path ahead shimmered with a faint, ethereal light. Hours turned into what felt like days as Eli followed the whispers, each step taking him closer to the relic and further from the world he knew. The glow led him to a grove, encircled by towering ancient trees, their branches intertwined high above, forming a natural dome. In the center of the grove, bathed in moonlight that seemed to penetrate the dense canopy, lay a stone pedestal, and atop it, the relic, a crystal emitting a soft, pulsing light. As Eli approached, the whispers fell silent, and the forest held its breath. He reached out, his fingers brushing against the crystal. In that moment, a rush of visions flooded his mind. The guardians of the forest, a pact made long ago, and a shadowy figure seeking to harness the forest's power for their own ends. The realization hit Eli like a thunderbolt. The shadowy figure his family had warned him about, the one seeking to disrupt the balance, was not some external threat, but a manifestation of his own doubts and fears. The true test was not just to retrieve the relic, but to confront and overcome the darkness within himself. With newfound determination, Eli grasped the crystal. A warm light enveloped him. The whispers returned, now voices of encouragement and strength. The grove illuminated, revealing hidden paths leading out of the forest. But there was one path that shone brighter than the others, a path that seemed to beckon him not towards home, but deeper into the heart of the woods. Eli understood then that his journey was not meant to end with a simple return. The forest, the whispers, the guardians had chosen him for something greater. The balance between the forest and his people needed to be restored, but not through old pacts or relics. It required a new guardian, one who understood both the darkness and the light. Turning his back to the path home, Eli walked deeper into the forest, the crystal in his hand shining like a beacon. As he walked, the forest transformed around him, the dark, whispering woods becoming a place of wonder and magic. The twist, however, lay not just in Eli's acceptance of his new role, but in the realization that reached Meadowfield in the days that followed. Eli's disappearance into the forest became a tale of its own, a story that sparked a newfound respect and understanding among the townspeople for the Whispering Woods. They began to see the forest not as a place of fear and danger, but as a guardian of their town, a source of strength and wisdom. Eli, the boy who had ventured into the heart of the Whispering Woods, had become a legend, a bridge between the town and the forest. His journey had not only changed him but also the world around him, weaving a new tale into the fabric of Meadowfield's history. And so the story of the Whispering Woods took on a new chapter, one of unity and balance, of darkness confronted and light embraced. Eli's journey had ended, but his legacy was just beginning, a reminder that sometimes the greatest adventures lie not in the destination, but in the journey itself, and the transformation that occurs along the way. Thank you for listening to this story on my channel.